what would you do if you found yourself being ripped away by a strong current in the ocean, so far away from any beach, and you just knew this was it? This was your last minutes on Earth. You're going to hear one of the most amazing near-death experiences that I've ever heard from a beautiful light worker, Carlos Vivas. Carlos, welcome to our Beacons of Balance. I was so looking forward to this, and just to meet you and have you on our show is such an honor.
Yes, Carlos, thank you.
Wow.
Also,
Wow,
welcome.
wow.
And if I could ask
Yes.
the first question, what was your life like before this life-changing event happened to you? Was it like
Well,
every day?
first and principal, I just want to say thank you for inviting me to your program. I'm really
Oh.
glad to meet you guys. I mean, you have a divine spirit within you, and I mean, you just send me good feelings to me. I mean, you guys are glowing. So yes, thank you so much.
The little halos.
Yes. Well, let me tell you, when I before this incident, I used to just work. I worked 20 years on a corporate office, and I wasn't that spiritual at all. I was raised in a Catholic school, Catholic church with my family, but I wasn't practiced too much Catholicism. The only thing that I remember all my life since I was a child, and this is in me, I always pray in the morning, pray in the afternoon, pray at night, all the times. Because I read one time on the Bible, it said, pray without stop. And every time that I pray, it doesn't matter what kind of problem I had since I was a kid or as a man right now, everything feels to me like everything's going to be fine. Just relax. Everything's going to be fine. Even at night, if I go to sleep without praying, I couldn't sleep the whole night. I have to wake up in the middle of the night, pray, and I sleep like a baby again. So praying to God was in me. When I was in elementary school, I have a lot of bullying because I was a little bit chubby. I still a little bit chubby, and I was asking to God like, why these kids are bothering me so much? So I used to have a stamp of Jesus, and I used to talk with a stamp like, Jesus, help me, please. Like I just trying to be a nice guy. So yes, my life before this, it was just work, study, but nothing spiritual at all.
Oh.
I was in
Wow.
the spiritual lifestyle like far away from me. Yeah.
Wow. So, Carlos, take us back to that amazing
The
day
day.
in 2015. We're at Panama City Beach in Florida. You're out on a holiday on Memorial Day with your buddies. You take it
Yes.
from here and let
So
us hear what
okay.
happened.
So one of my best friend called me one day and say, "Hey, Carlos, my family's coming from out of town. You want to come with us to Panama City? We want to go to the beach. It's Memorial Day." And I said, "Yeah, sure, let's go." So we planned the trip. We travel to Panama City. We go to several beaches, and everything was completely packed. Okay, and they're saying like, "Carlos, look, we cannot." All the parking lots were full, but it was a holiday. So I said, you know what, guys, let's go to a place that I know isn't going to be so many people. It's called Shell Island. You have to pay $20 to get a boat to get there. So we go to the first marina and it was closed for renovation. Go to second marina, it was closed. We go to the third marina, it was closed too. And I said to my friends, I don't know what's going on. All these marinas supposed to be open. I mean, it's Memorial Day. I grab my phones. I have two phones, my work phone and my personal phone. And I go on my personal phone. Hey Google, give me to a marina that is open today here in Panama City. And Google said you don't have permission to navigate on internet. Then go into my work phone. There was an Apple, and I say, hey Siri, take me to another marina. And Siri said the same thing. You don't have permission to navigate on internet. So at that point right there, that's when the red flags started going. But I didn't catch it right there. And I wasn't superstitious or anything like that before, and I didn't listen. Sometimes we hear our inner voice saying, don't go to that place or be careful, and say, nothing's going to happen. And then we go to a place and we do, and we don't follow this little voice inside of us. And it's like, oh, if I listen to my inner voice, that wouldn't happen before. But
Right.
yeah, we learn that with time as we grow and get older. So yeah, exactly. So what happened?
Get off the head.
Yeah. So what happened? One of my friends said, "Don't worry, I check it on my phone." He checked on his phone. He found a place. It's called San Andreas State Park. I said, "Okay, I never been there, but yeah, let's go." So we go. We were 7 people. When we arrived there was a big line to get in. We get in, park our car, we get the tickets. We have to get into a bus, a shuttle bus that's going to take us to a marina. When we're not waiting for the shuttle, one of my friends that he have a surgery on his stomach, he said, "Let me go to the bathroom here because I don't know if there are bathrooms in the islands." They're not. So he go to the bathroom. The shuttle bus show up. We start boarding the boat. I mean the bus, and waiting for my friends. He's not coming. So I tell his dad, like, "Hey, could you go and check what's going on with Jorge?" So he's going to the bathroom and somebody put a lock on the door. So that was the third flag. So we have to get a janitor to open the door. He was yelling inside, "Get me out of here, get me out of here." Somebody put a lock on the door. Anyways, they release him. He go into the bus and we go from the parking lot to the marina in this shuttle bus. When we arrive to the marina, we get into the boat. Then the boat go 25 minutes into the ocean, to get to the island. When we arrived to the island, it was sunny day, sunny skies, blue water, beautiful. But when we get to the bayside, it was, I'm a friend, Carlos, look, here is back to. So you know what? Let's go to the backside of the island. This is like a circle. So the back of the island is an open ocean. So there is not going to be too many people there. I don't think so. So we get out of the boat, we start walking to the other side, and then there is a guy with 5 kids, and the guy is like, "Excuse me, guys, where do you think you're going? Don't you see that all the families are here?" I said, "Yes, sir, but it's packed, it's full. We want some peace. That's why we're going to the other side." So like, well, it's very dangerous because there is nothing to protect you on the other side. It's open ocean. So be careful. No, don't worry. No, don't worry about it. Poor Red. I didn't listen. So we arrived to the back of the island. There was nobody there. I said to my friend, "Okay, let's put the tent right here." And we start opening the canopy. As soon as we start opening the canopy, the wind start blowing like really hard. And for 45 minutes, we're trying to put the canopy, but the wind didn't allow us to put the canopy because it was like a parachute open. Finally, one of my friends gets some rocks and put the rocks in every corner, and we put it perfectly there, and we stayed there from 9 a.m. till 4 p.m. We listened to music, get some food. I mean, swim. Everything was good. Around 4 p.m., my friend said, "Carlos, we're gonna walk around the island. You want to come with us?" I said, "No, I'm taking care of everything. I've been here so many times. You guys go. You have 45 minutes to come back because at 5:30 the island's gonna close. The last boat's gonna leave." "Okay, we'll be back." So they left. I was by myself, and then started getting hot. And I said, "I'm just gonna refresh myself a little bit. I'm just gonna jump into the water. I'm not afraid to swim because when I was a kid, my mom used to put me on a swimming team, so I used to swim a lot. So I was like, it's okay. I'm just gonna jump." So I jump into the water. As soon as I get into the water, I feel there's some holes in the sand. And I never felt that when I was going to the beach. And I was like, this is weird. What is this hole? So I was walking and I was getting in these holes. What I didn't know, those holes were forming by a riptide. But I didn't know. And I continued walking. I didn't know what a riptide was. I didn't know that this exists. And I'm walking into the mouth of the riptide at that point. That I didn't know. So when I'm far enough in the ocean, I feel that something start pulling me and pulling me. So I get scared. I try to get out. But in one of me trying to get out, something just sucked me under the water, like I don't know, like a tornado under the water and sucked me in. Yeah. Like a whirlpool under the
Yeah, well,
water.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the movie Finding Nemo. In that movie, they explain that it's called Australian current, and this twister come under the water and grab all the fishes and throw it far, far away. It's like a teleportation device because they grab you from here and throw you far, far away.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, when I get out of this thing under the water, when I pulled my head out of the water, the island was like this. I was like, "What? How did I get here so far?" So I didn't understand what was happening. And I said, "You know what? I just come down and I'm just gonna swim. I don't have any other option. Swim back." So I started swimming and swimming and swimming. And every time that I was pulling my head off the water, I was looking to the island. I was in the same place. Like I didn't move at all. I was like, "What?" So I tried to swim even faster, pull my head out of the water, still in the same place. Why? Because I was swimming against the current.
and
It was in circles, but I didn't feel it. This thing was huge, like giant. So I feel like fly on the toilet. Okay, I was just trying to get out of there, but there was no way. After 30 minutes fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting, I get debilitated. I said to myself, "You know what? This is it. This is it, Carlos. Like, what are you gonna have to continue fighting here? Like nobody's watching. This is the perfect scenario for me to die. Like nobody's in the side of the island. My friends are gone. energy is gone. So I said, okay, if this is it before I die, and in that moment I just look at heaven and say, okay, God, I never thought that in a million years that today's gonna be my last day. But if this is it before I die, I just want to let you know something. I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for my mom, thank you for my dad, thank you for my brothers, thank you for my sisters, thank you for everything you gave me, and I'm sorry if I did something wrong. And in that moment, I heard behind me a voice, a very soft voice that said, ask for help. And I was like, what? And I heard again, ask for help. And I thought this was my imagination. I was like, no, this is my imagination. So I tried to swim again. And then I stopped again and I heard the voice again. I told you to ask for help. I was like, oh my God, don't you think that I'm swimming here and that I'm going to die here and I'm drowning here? Like, could you please help me? And like, ask for help. It's like, oh my, okay. So I started screaming. I didn't want to scream because I thought to myself, if I start screaming, my energy is going to completely disappear and I'm going to die even faster, But because of this voice, I said, okay, hold on, hold on. So I started, help, help, even that I couldn't see anybody behind me. And I just want to let you know, there is a movie out there. It's called Breakthrough, of a kid that he went. This is a real case that happened the next year. My accident was in 2015. This movie happened. This incident happened in 2016. There is a movie about it. The kid go into the water on a frozen lake, and when the police and the fire department is looking for him, they said, we cannot find this kid. And then one of the fire department guys, he heard the same voice that I heard. He said, please look more for him. He's there. He's there. And then he realized when he get out and they finally rescued the kid, there was nobody telling anything to him. I just want to let you know that I heard the same voice. And this boy was pushing me. And when I was screaming, help, 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 at the end of the island, one of my friends came out of the group because he felt something was wrong. So he looked everywhere for me. He couldn't see me. So he went to the top of a hill. And from the top of the hill, he saw me and he started screaming, Carlos, Carlos, wait a minute. I'm going to call 911. Hold on. He didn't call 911. He went to the tent. He grabbed some tubing and he went to the top of a hill and he dropped the tubing. But guess what? The wind was against him. So the tubing was straight to his face. And he's like, oh my God, this is not working. This is not working. Hold on, hold on. He went back. He went to the other side of the island, started looking people. A lot of people started coming from the other outside of the island. 6 guys jumped from the rocks. Everybody's coming my way. And in that moment, I said, oh my God, thank you, God. Thank you, God. They're going to save me. They're going to save me. But guess what? 10 minutes passed and nobody can reach me. And then behind me, I hear a thunder, boom. And when I look back, the sky started turning black and stormy and lightning. And then when this happened, everybody started turning around and leave me. And I was like, no, 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 please, But I understand. I mean, nobody's gonna, sacrifice their life for somebody. They just was trying to do a nice to help me. So everybody left. I was by myself, and the ocean was turning and storming really bad. And I said, this is it. And in that moment, I said, you know what, God, I don't want to fight anymore. This is it for me. I'm just gonna surrender. And from this moment, whatever you want, just do it quick. So I don't want to feel anything. That's it. And I always make a pause here because how many times in your life you're fighting with cancer, with your husband, with your kids, with school, with work, and the only thing that you have to do is surrender. When you cannot do anything else, surrender.
Surrender.
And as soon as you surrender, miracles happen. And that's what happened to me. In that moment when I surrendered, a huge wave raised up behind me and crushed me all the way into the ocean. And when I was under the water, I open my eyes and I see far away a big shadow, black shadow that's coming my way. I said, oh my God, shark. Covered my face. I didn't know what to think about it. I said, this is it, I'm done. But this thing come under me, grabbed me by my stomach and pushed me all the way up. And when it pushed me all the way up that I get out of the water, I couldn't believe it. It was a huge, great dolphin. And I was like surprised. I never been that close from a dolphin. I couldn't believe the dolphin came for me. And my instinct at that moment was to hug the dolphin by the tail because I was exhausted. So he hung out with me there. He didn't move. In that moment, I looked the dolphin in his eyes and I saw peace. I don't know if when you see a cat or your dog and you see the dog in his eye, you can see the soul of the animal, like talking through to his eyes, to your eyes. And what I feel in that moment was like, don't worry, I'm here. Nothing's happening. You're safe. That's what I feel from the dolphin. That was like communication, like telepathically. I don't know. but I feel a lot of peace when he was there. And I just was crying like a baby because I couldn't believe what was happening. Well, he didn't move, he didn't swim around, nothing. Guess what? 10 minutes later, a feature boat showed up in front of me and he said, Son, I can save you, but I cannot get close to you because the waves are so big. I'm going to hit you with my boat. So I'm going to throw you a rope. So he threw me a rope. I go with the rope all the way to the boat. When I get to the boat, I just hold the rope and I get somewhere like, oh my God. And the guy started screaming, What are you doing? What are you doing? You need to get in right now. I was like, Sir, can you please let me breathe for a second? I've been here for more than 30, 40 minutes. Like, let
Oh my
me
God.
like grab my hair, my air, like, I was like, no, we don't have time for that. I said, why? I said, because my body's sinking. Your body's
No
sinking.
breathing for
What?
you. Oh my God.
At this point, the dolphin is still next to me, okay? And I was like, what? So the guy said, come on, hurry up, go to the back of the boat. There are some steps there. Jump into the steps and jump in. So I see the steps in the water. I jump in. When I jump into the boat, the water was like this inside of the boat. I said, oh my God, the boat is floating. I said, yeah, I'm telling you. I said, like, sir, do you have a bucket? I take the water out. I said, we don't have time for that. So sit down next to me. So I sit down next to him. He put a towel on me. I said, we need to get out of here. So he started driving around. And he started asking me, like, okay, what happened to you? I said, well, I was with my friends there. I jumped into the water to swim a little bit, and something brought me all the way here. I said, that's a riptide current. I said, sir, I don't know what it was. It was a big, like, tornado under the water. I don't know what happened. I said, okay, what is your family and friends? Everybody's there, but they went to take a walk around the island. I said, okay, let me ask you a question. I said, yes, sir. Where are you from? I said, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. Where about you, sir? I said, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, too, and we're in Florida. What part of Atlanta? I said, I'm from Duluth. And where about you, sir? I'm from Norcross. Duluth and Norcross is next to each other. I said, oh, we're neighbors, too. I like, this is crazy. And in that moment, the guy's like, oh my God, I started screaming. I didn't know what happened. Look behind you because he's looking this way. And when he's looking behind me, he said, look behind you. So when I look behind me, I see the dolphin start following the boat around the island. So he is like, what? This is crazy. I said, tell me. So we go around the island. When we get to the bayside, he says, son, I have to fix my boat. I have to leave you right here. But if you want to see me again, every Memorial Day, I'm going to come back here. So God bless you. I said, sir, thank you for saving my life. Give it a hug. And I jump off the boat. So he have to fix his boat. So I'm walking to the shore, to the bayside, and nobody's there because everybody's on the other side. And when I'm walking, something hit my leg. And when I look back, the dolphin was behind me. So the dolphin is swimming next to me all the way to the shore. So I start crying like, this is it.
Oh.
Like, what? Are you kidding me? Like, this
Got
dolphin.
chills.
I know, me too.
So I'm crying and crying because I don't know. I didn't deserve all this for me. I'm done. If you say,
Carlos, I'm sorry, you
Yeah.
froze. So you were saying I don't deserve all this. That's when you froze.
yes, I don't deserve to do. I mean, why am gonna be saved by a dolphin? Like, I just consider a regular person that work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Nothing special about me. And this dolphin out of the blue just came and saved me. So in that moment, I go on my knees and I say, God, this is it for me. If you save me with this dolphin right here, because you have a plan for my life, I don't know what you want from me, but I'm going to tell you something. From today, Carlos dying into the ocean. The person who's coming out of the water is going to be you.
Wow.
I want you to take my life, my soul, and from this moment is whatever you want through me. You save me with that dolphin, so bring it on. Whatever you want, just do it.
Mhm.
Okay. And in that moment, I start crying, because it's like a choking moment. And then I heard everybody coming from the other side. Everybody's like calling my name, Carlos, Carlos, oh my God, you're here. So everybody started crying, everybody started hugging me, and everybody asked me like, what do you want to do now? So take me back to the island, and I want to go to a church. So everybody take me. We go into the management of the island, and they asked me, are you okay? I said, no, I'm not okay. Like, you need to put a red flag that it said the ocean is dangerous, seeing in other places, or lifesavers. I know it was Memorial Day, and maybe you guys didn't have it, but you don't have to wait for somebody to die, to put something there. Anyways, after that, my friend said, okay, let's go to a church. So the first church that was on the way was a Catholic church called Fatima. So we get out of the car, and we see the big statue of Fatima. The church, we're trying to get inside of the church, but the church was closed. But my friend said, don't worry about it. My friends and people that came from the island that they saw me, we did a big circle outside of the church, and it was a chapel outside, and the chapel was full of candles. of the Virgin Fatima and the three kids that were revealed the secrets of Fatima. So we did a circle. We hugged each other and we did a circle and we prayed for like 20 minutes there, giving thanks to God for my salvation right there. I feel that I born again in that moment, you know.
Mm.
And after that, everybody's okay. What do you want to do now? I said, just take me to the hotel. I just want to go and take a nap and relax. So we go back to the hotel. I get something to eat, took a shower, and as soon as I put my head on the pillow, I have an epiphany. I never had an epiphany before. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a
Wow.
dream. And in this epiphany, I was on the third floor of a Carnival cruise, grabbing the handrails. I was one myself. And then I look in front of me and I see the ocean. It was blue skies, blue ocean, sunny day. But at the end of the ocean, a tsunami was rising. A tsunami was coming to me. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. So I covered my face. I was like, no, I don't wanna die. I don't wanna die. I don't wanna die.
And
And me into like 10, 15 minutes, like just cover my face. Somebody come behind me. It's like, hey, look at me. I said, like, no, bro, look, we're about to die. I said, no, look at me. I said, like, no, I don't want to look at you. I don't know who you are. Look, we're gonna die. Tsunami's coming. And then he said, you're never gonna die with me. I said, who are
Mm.
you? I said, look at me. So I was like, what? So when I look behind me, this is a guy like 6'5", bigger than me, skinny, tall. He's with a white robe. He's glowing. But from his face, he don't have a face. It's light coming out from his face. And he said, I want you to close your eyes, please. So I closed my eyes. He held me from behind. 10 seconds passed and he said, open your eyes and look in front of you. So I opened my eyes. He opened his arm and he said, welcome. And when I look in front of me, I'm in heaven. I was like, what? This mean that I die? And I look back and George Jesus, right? Like, no, Jesus, you need to take me back. I cannot die right now. I have a lot to do, please. I said, you didn't die yet, Carlos. But welcome to heaven. From this moment, you're walking with me and walking with all of them. So when he said all of them, I looked around and there were millions of people dressed in white robes, glowing. And I was like, oh my God. I said, yes. Do you have any questions? I said, yes, I have a question. Where all these people come from? So they're coming from all over the world, every corner of the world. Any other questions? I said, yes. What is the true religion? There's so many religions all over the world. I just want to know what is real. He said, the only thing that I can tell you is when you come to heaven, the only thing you're going to find here is not religion, it's love. Love is the most powerful force in the universe. And that's what I unite humanity in one. Now, I want you to go back. I'm going to give you a live review. In that moment, he put his arm over me and he gave me a live review where he opened his arm. And from the sky, I see like screens, like a Macintosh computer show up. And I see my life flashing in front of me from I was a baby until right now. But the
Wow.
most important of this live review was he wanted me to understand every action have a reaction. So every time that I was getting mad with somebody or was saying a bad word that every human do, you know, how my words were affecting the other person. So he put me on perspective in the other side where the person was feeling my word
Mm.
and I was receiving the power of, you know, saying words to somebody else. I say yes. And every time that you do a good act, like good deed, that is like when you drop a rock into a lake, it causes ripple. And those ripples affect a lot of people. So if you do a good deed, that good deed is gonna be a ripple that's gonna help a lot of people. And it's like a chain reaction, you know, like when you go to the supermarket and somebody behind you said, you know what, I'm gonna pay you for your groceries. And then one day you say, why not? Let me go to another market and like I see an old lady or a kid that he's struggling to pay, let me pay for his stuff. But you go to McDonald's or who knows any fast food and pay for somebody else, you know. You are creating a ripple and that person is gonna continue creating the ripple. Anyways, he said, yeah. And this is what you're going to find here love. And that's the most wonderful thing in the universe. And I want you to take that with you and tell this, what happened to you, to everybody when you go back. So he pushed me from the back. And the next day I wake up, I was like, what a weird dream. That's what I thought. Anyways, I told the story to my friends. They were with me. On Monday, I go back to work. I've been working 20 years in corporate. So I tell 3 managers in my office, guys, let me tell you what happened. I was drowning by a Riptide and a Dolphin came and saved me an error. Like, and in that moment, my boss get in and said, like, you know what? I believe you. And I said, why you believe me and they don't believe me? I said, well, because number one, I'm a Christian and they're atheists. Now I want you to go on your computer and Google how many people has been saved by dolphins around the world in human history. So then I Googled it. A lot of people has been saved by dolphins. I didn't know that. And then he said, Now Google how many people die in the United States every year by riptide current. Google more than approximately 114 people die every year by riptide currents in America. I was like, okay. Now Google how many dolphins kill every day, every year in the world, and they still 7 people. So then I googled that 100,000 dolphins, and then he said the last one. Google what is the meaning of the dolphin for Christians? When I put what is the meaning of dolphin for Christian, Jesus. I was like, what? Like I will never, connect those dots to Jesus. I said, yeah. I was like, okay. So that happened on Monday. On Wednesday, my boss sent me to a customer house. I'm a quality assurance manager. I have to check the quality of my employees. One of my employees went to a basement and broke a lamp. So when I get to this customer, the customer was cooking pasta. I said, Carlos, could you do me a favor? I'm busy in the kitchen. Go to the basement and turn the lights until you get to the last room at the end of the hallway. And you will see at the end of the hallway on a corner a gold lamp. So could you fix that lamp or buy me a new one? Sure, let me go and I'll do it. So I go downstairs, and this is live, real. And when I get to the last room that I turn the lights, I see the lamp, but next to the lamp was a huge painting on the wall. And what was this painting? The holy scene of me and Jesus in heaven was painting on the wall. I wasn't in the painting, but Jesus was in the painting. Behind him, he was in heaven. A lot of people dressed in white robes behind him. He was touching water on heaven, and dolphins were around him. And I was like shocked in that moment. And I started crying because it was very overwhelming to see that. So like, and in that moment, I understood this wasn't a dream. This was something else, because this is a confirmation that something happened to me in that moment. And then the customer listened to me that I'm crying. So she come downstairs and said, Carlos, what's going on? What happened? And did you fail or something? And so like, no, I just want to ask you a question. Where do you get this painting? This is crazy. I was 3 days ago there. I said, what are you talking about? I said, just please tell me, where did you get this painting? And say, well, 3 years ago, a friend of my family came here and he did this painting for my family. But the painting is so big that we didn't have any other space. Just put it right here. But let me turn the light so you can watch the whole thing. So I watched the whole thing. That happened on Wednesday. On Thursday, I called my best friend, told the story, and said, Carlos, you need to go to church. This is a testimony. People need to know what happened to you. I was like, you crazy? You know how many haters are out there? You don't like, no. I don't want to go to church and all these people start, commenting that I'm making this up. And why? Why are you going to do this to me? I have enough with my life right now. I said, I know, Carlos, you need to know, you need to go to church and tell people that this is going on and this happened to you. And I didn't want to do it, believe me. But he insists. I said, okay, bro, I'm going on Sunday. And he live an hour away. I live in Duluth. He live in Woodstock. I go to Woodstock and we go with your wife and we go to church. Okay, cool. On Sunday, I drove 1 hour there. We get breakfast. And then he asked me, what church you want to go? It's like, it doesn't matter, because Jesus told me it's all about love. So any church, whatever first. Okay. We get out of his house. We start going, looking for church. And the first church that the GPS grabbed was St. Michael the Archangel. Okay, let's go there. So we get there. When we get there, the parking lot was full of people. There was a celebration. We didn't know what happened. We parked. And I asked a lady next to me, I said, excuse me, ma'am, what's going on here today? I said, well, this used to be a little church, but today we're inaugurating a big cathedral, like a big church. You guys show up for the celebration. I was like, wow, okay. So my friend said, go and speak with the priest and tell them that you have a testimony. So I told him, and the priest said, okay, at the end of the service, you can tell your story. Make your story short. The service get to the end. He called me, Carlos, come to the stage. This kid right here have a testimony to tell everybody. And I was super nervous because it was the first time that I want to tell my story. I didn't know how people is going to react, So I started telling my story. And when I'm in the middle of the story, a 17 years old skinny girl with a black blonde hair raised her hand and said, excuse me, I want to interrupt your story. I said, yes, what's going on? I said, I want to ask you a question. How Jesus was with you? I said, he was behind me. Why he was dressing? He was dressed in a white robe. What he was doing? He was hugging me from behind. Why? Watch this. I said, like, what she's going to do? So she grabbed her hair, put the hand in front of her, and turned around. When she turned around, in the back of the teacher, she have a painting. Guess what the painting was? This one right here. I don't know if you ever see this painting before.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that.
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody in church like, oh my God, you guys made up this and blah, blah, blah. I said, number one, I don't know that girl. Number two, I don't live in this area. Number three, I don't have time to make up stories and stand up here to lie to nobody, And then, I finished my story, the service ended. I drove 1 hour back home. But I was intrigued by this image. So I Googled Jesus hugging a guy. And Google showed with this story that in 1992, a very famous painter, his name is Thomas Blackshear, he started doing fasting for 2 weeks, asking God, let me paint the image of Jesus. So after 2 weeks of fasting with water, he heard the Holy Spirit saying to him, Thomas, and Thomas is the painter. He's halfway on the painting. He said, like, you need to write a book about this painting. I said, like, why? Because you need to explain to people everything that is on the painting. And what is on the painting is the dark in the back is the darkest that all humans have. The white light is the halo that we all humans have, the illumination. Here
Right.
is the strength with God grab us, the love, everything. You need to explain everything. So he wrote a book, and this is the book that he wrote. It's called Forgiven by Thomas Blackshear. And when that happened, I was like, wow, this is an amazing story. This really happened in real life, happened here in the United States. And then that's how my story ended. When I was in heaven, and before Jesus put his hand on my back and sent me back, he said, Carlos, I want you to give this message to humanity. I said, what message? He said, like, well, in order for people to continue living on earth, they need to forgive. If they don't forgive, they don't, it's going to be really hard for them. So they need to forgive 3 people. Who are these 3 people? Number 1, they need to forgive their parents. It doesn't matter if they abandon you, they abuse you, they hit you, they didn't like you. They did the best they could to give you the best you have. Number 2, you need to forgive your inner child. Why? Because that kid inside of you, that kid, it's not his fault what happened to him. He was scared. He was afraid. He didn't know where to run, where to go. So you need to forgive that kid. And number 3, you need to forgive every person that came to your life to harm you. Why? When you forgive your parents, your inner child, and the people that came to your life to harm you, you're not forgiving them. You're forgiving yourself. In that moment, you open your heart and you throw away all the hate, all the resentment, and all the poison that's been eating you inside of you for years. And that poison creates cancer, and the resentment is just cancer, and it create a lot of sicknesses. So when you open your heart, it's like you have a balloon with a string and you cut the string and let the balloon go. You're free. And from that moment was when Jesus told me, from that moment is when you start living with purpose, because I give purpose to every person on earth. I give you a gift. And what is your gift? Very simple. The only thing that you do better than anybody else. Maybe you're amazing doing craft. Maybe you're amazing cooking at the kitchen. So that's your gift. Maybe you're an amazing painter like you, John. That's your gift. Every person do something that they don't know how they do it. They sing amazing, they swim amazing, but they don't know how. That's their gift. You don't want to do your gift? The second gift is called service. Why service? Because when you die, you're not taking anything with you. Look at Steve Jobs from Apple. He had billions and billions of dollars. Tell me what he took with him. And at the end, his last words were, all of my life was resumed right here. And what he says, like, it doesn't matter all the money in the world, What matter is the impact that you have in the world for other people, what you did here. And that was the words that Jesus told me. Look, Mother Teresa of Calcutta, Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Princess Diana, Martin Luther King, what they did was service. And their service continues until today. So I ask you the question to Joanne and Arlene and all the people that is listening to this podcast right now. What are you guys doing today to leave a legacy of love, to leave your mark, your fingerprint on this earth? So the day that you get called to heaven and they ask you, it was worth it for you to go to heaven, to go to earth. And you probably say, yes. Let me tell you how many lives I touch, how many lives I give food, I give shelter, and what was the legacy that I left behind for others to follow. Believe me, at the time that you die, people is not going to be talking about the brand of the car that you was driving or what careers do you have. People is going to talk about you, of what kind of human being you were,
Absolutely.
and the impact that you create in other, the ripple you create in other people.
Yeah.
What was the light that you left behind?
I just have to say you answered all the questions we were going to ask you before we got a chance to ask you them. I just want to back to them. I'm going to let Joanne. You, this could be confirmation for you and me also. Okay. I've been writing my book for 30 years. There's a lot of it that we touched on that. Okay. The first thing when I started doing auto writing to the angels and that, my first message was the key to unlock all the doors and mysteries is one word, love. That has always stood with me for 30 something years now going on this path. Okay. And I always get hearts all the time. I get hearts, the symbol hearts. And the other thing, and I'm going to cry with this. Oh my God. The forgiveness is a big part.
I don't know if you guys realized when I was talking about this, my clock started beeping. I have a grandfather clock here. It started bling, bling. It was confirmation right there.
We're driving right now.
We're touching in so many things. Mother Teresa, I want to write to her at my store. I was just going to write to her, but guess what? When I was going to do it, she passed away. But her message, because I heard her on TV once, and she said to the news reporters, because they said, what can we do? She goes, forget me, forget what you sing. The most you could do is go back into the nucleus of your family and forget. Starts there. If you can't do anything there, you can't do anything for anybody else, and there'll never be world peace. That's another one I want to touch on. The other one you said about the forgiveness, and you said about, I forget the scenario you said with the balloon and cutting the thing. Oh my God, Carlos.
Why?
When I got on this path and everything, and I started forgiving, people that were still alive, I, called up to see him face to face. My father had been gone since I was 8. It was many, many years, 20 something.
Oh, wow.
I went down to this graveside. I didn't even know where it was at the time. And I walked and I stood there, and all I said, simple words. I said, forgive me for whatever I did to you during our time together, and I forgive you for what you did to me. I had this image, Carlos, of a group of helium balloons on weighted down.
Okay.
I'm going to cry. When I said those words, I saw scissors cutting them, and they
let it go.
Lifted up.
They were free.
Now, going back to Catholicism, we were taught, I remember with the prayers when we go to church, it said, pray for those souls that have crossed over. As a kid and as a youngster, I used to think to myself, why am I praying for them? They're already in a good place. Pray for me. I'm here.
They're here suffering.
But I understood at that moment, even though I was older now and I psychologically thought I let go of all that anger I was holding, held him, between him and me.
The race.
That episode of him and me was holding him. And when I did that, it's like he lifted up. Oh, and thank you.
No.
No. This is not my message. I'm just the messenger, okay? This is not anything for me.
People need to hear, because we're hearing Brad go through. Yeah.
Right. And further confirmation about forgiveness. I was almost killed by a drunk driver, and they told me I'd probably never walk again. And my guides, that voice that you talk about, said, until you learn to forgive this man from your heart and mean it, you are never going to heal and move forward. Forgiveness, people, is so key.
Important. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I want to make sure we mention your book, Help from Heaven. Yeah. That's available on Amazon.
Yeah, it's right here. Help from Heaven.
Just the way the man from France came to you, to do that documentary when you were dying. You had a high fever.
Yes.
And got you. That's another. Your life is one miracle after another.
Oh, it's been amazing.
I
always ask this question, like, look, since I was a kid, I've been involved in accidents. Not me, because of me, but because of somebody else,
Right.
But I never died. I was like, why I don't die? Like, what's going on?
Why do they do that to us?
Exactly. Because I've been in accidents, like the car flip over, like jump from the bridge, and nothing, not even a scratch to me. I did skydiving, and my parachute didn't open. And I was attached with another guy.
Oh my God.
And the guy started screaming like a girl, oh my God, we're gonna die. I said, okay, leave me alone, because we have 30 seconds. So let me breathe. And in a few seconds, we're gonna be in heaven. So and you don't believe, in that moment, I surrender again. And I said, okay, God, this is what you want. I'm ready.
Gosh.
Go ahead. And then the emergency parachute opened. But things like that have been happening left and right to me.
Yes.
Like last April. Do you remember the eclipse on last year?
Right. Yes.
That day, I was driving back home. It started raining in the highway. I was on the top of an interstate on a bridge. And I lost the brakes on my car going down of the bridge.
Oh no!
Now, the bottom of the bridge was like the traffic was like a parking lot. Okay. And I was on the way down. I was like, okay. So I closed my eyes. I said, this is it. I'm done. This is it. Guess what? I look to my mirror and I see big flashes behind me. It was a huge. So this truck hit me in the back. As soon as the truck hit me in the back, I guess the guy was on the phone, so he couldn't see me. You know, when people is distracted on the phone and they're driving, the traffic is stopped, but they don't see that and they hit you. So the guy hit me, and at the moment that hit me, he saved my life because the brakes came back, so I could stop the car before I get to all the cars in front of me. But you
Oh
see, I
my
mean,
gosh.
one thing after another thing, and because of that accident, this is the first time that I say it on an interview, but because of that accident, the insurance called me like a week later and said, "Look, I'm sorry, your car is totaled, so we're gonna have to pay for your car." But they didn't want to give me what I paid for my car. I paid a lot of money. They want to give me like half of what I paid for the car. It's like, excuse me, like what? And then my dad said, you know what? Just go to Texas. I have a brother that live in Austin, and your brother have a rent a car, and he's gonna help you to find a car. So I said, okay. So I called my brother. I said, yeah, get a flight, come tomorrow, and we get you a car. I'm at the airport waiting for this flight to Austin, Texas, and I receive a message on my webpage. It goes straight to my phone, and this message is for a guy that he said, like, Carlos, I just saw your story on Anthony Chin. I need to talk to you. God talked to me about you. I know you live in Atlanta because you're saying your story, but if someday you're coming here, I want to talk to you. I live in Austin, Texas. And I was like, sir, you don't believe me, but I'm boarding an airplane right now to go to Austin, Texas.
Oh my Lord.
And the guy couldn't believe it. He said, like, you playing? I said, like, no, I'm for real. I'm on
Yeah.
the airplane, go to Austin, Texas right now. So I flew to Austin and I tell my brother, like, hey, could you take me to meet this guy? I don't know, he have a message for me. And so my brother is not into religion or anything like that. So it's like, look, so you can see when I meet people and their reactions and all that. So my brother, yeah, I take you there. So I met a guy on a coffee shop, really nice guy. And he sit down with my brother and me. We sit down at a table, we get some coffees. And he looked at me and said, like, Carlos, God talked to me about you. And I don't know anything about you, but the video that I watch on YouTube, on your documentary, but God told me that something happened to you and I need to help you for what happened to you. So tell me, what happened to you? I said, I just have an accident. And what happened? I lost my car. And that's why I'm here, because I came to buy a car.
And he owns a car dealership, right?
No, listen. My brother is really a skeptic on all this, okay? The guy grabbed a paper and said, okay, I'm going to give you this paper and give you the pen right here. I want you to write me down the amount of money you need right now. I give it to you. I don't care what amount of money you put there. And I said, sorry, I'm sorry, I can't do that. And he said, but God told me to help you. So like, thank you so much, but I can't do this. Have you ever helped other people this way? I said, yes, because God told me to help you. I said, yeah, but no with me. I can't. I mean, my soul is telling me, no, I can't. I don't know who you are. Thank you so much for what you're doing. Thank you for your service of humanity, for help me. You don't know me, but I can. He begged me for an hour. Please, Carlos, just send the money. I was like, no, I can't. Until after an hour, I said, okay, just listen to your inner voice. What your inner voice is telling you right now to do with. I say, it's telling me to give you some money for you to come back and do a speech here in Austin. And IANS, International Association.
IANS, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
So he put a envelope on my pocket with money and said, okay, that's the money for you to pay the airplane, hotel, and everything. So you come back here and do a conference about your story. Is that okay? I said, okay, that's different. You're hiring me to do this for you. So he announced this in IANS. I thought it's going to be 3 cats and me on the IANS conference. Guess what? When I arrived there, people from all over tech went to this conference just to see me. And it was very humble for me because I never expect anybody, but just,
Sure.
And people drove 6 hours, 5 hours, 4 hours for Corpus Christi, from San Padre Island, from Houston, from San Antonio, from everywhere. Just to stay with us on that thing. So yeah, God has been opening doors for me. And I guess everybody have miracles every day, but you don't see it. So you have to breathe and see what is around your life and what is surrendered around you to see the miracles that you
That's a very important thing we said. We have miracles almost every second of the day.
Right.
Yeah.
Being aware,
Yes.
acknowledging, saying thank you.
Very important. Thank you and gratitude.
Gratitude.
100%.
Gratitude is
That's a
key.
big one.
Open to receive, and more
Yes.
comes. And
Right.
we are so right now not trusting, in such fear. We have to break that. When you
Yes.
Right.
and just talk to people, because we're all one. And when you start opening and coming from your heart, those stories, you see a connectedness with people.
Yes.
And you go, oh, you both go out. But I'm going to tell you, okay, Spirit, he got the message already. I don't think you have to have any more acts.
Believe me, I'm just humble for. I have a lot of stories, so I'm writing two more books right now. One is called "I Found Jesus in Vegas," and the other is called "Divine Miracles." So these are all the miracles. So what happened to me after my near-death experience was I couldn't believe this happened to me. Okay, so I started looking for answers. But when I was looking for answers, I started asking God, okay, if this is really happening to me, I need proof. Okay, I need something tangible that this is happening to me. I'm going to tell you one really quick because I have a proof right here. I say, okay, I started to listen. My inner voice, my guys telling me, my guardian angel, I don't know, you need to write a book. You need to tell people about forgiveness. I was like, I don't know how to write a book. I never done this. Like, how in the world I'm going to be doing this? You kidding me? I work all day. I don't have time for this. And this was like, yes, you need to write a book, Junero. It's like, okay. If you want me to write a book, find me a publisher because I don't even know. Guess what? 2 weeks later, friend invited me to a party, and this party was a publisher from Georgetown University, and I spoke with them. I signed a contract with Georgetown University and a program for 1 year to do this book, and I did the book, and that's how the book came.
That's pretty amazing.
You
See,
need
God
to
has your
listen.
back.
Oh, 100%.
Always
Even the
has your
book. The
back.
book costs a lot of money, and I didn't have the money to pay for the book. So my dad said, Carlos, just do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
The money will come. Okay.
Right.
So people call me for a lot of churches, all denominations, to tell my story. One of the churches that I went, a lady came to me after the service and she put her hands on me and she started telling me what she was a prophet. Okay. But I didn't know what she was doing. So she said, like, oh, a lot of stuff is going to happen to you. You have to be prepared. And you're worried about your book. Don't be worried about your book. God is going to pay for it. I was like, lady, I need real money. Okay. You don't understand. And she come back again. She's like, don't worry, he will pay for it. I said, you're right. No, lady, I really need real money. Anyways, guess what happened? When I finished my book, the day that I was supposed to pay to the publisher, I was in Florida, in Tampa, and visiting some friends. And I remember I told my friends, like, oh my God, this publisher is going to prosecute me because I don't have the money to pay this book. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Anyways, I'm going to go to sleep, and tomorrow I will see what I'm going to do. Go to sleep. Next morning, I wake up early. Everybody was sleeping. 6 a.m. in the morning. I go to the kitchen, make some coffee, serve a cup of coffee, open my laptop, log in into my publisher. And when I go to my book, guess what? Zero. For thousands of dollars, okay?
Yeah.
So I was like, no, maybe I'm dreaming. I need to close this out, go to bed, try to wake up again and go back here. So I did it. And when I opened the laptop, zero. I was like, what?
Wow.
So I waited until 9 a.m. in California to open the publisher. And when I called in and they said, yes, your book was paid around 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning by somebody that worked for the federal government. It's like, what? I didn't speak with anybody.
The government.
Yeah. So like, I didn't speak with anybody to pay for my book. Like, what is this? So I said, I need the person because I need to give this money back. I mean, I'm not going to let nobody to pay for my book. So when they give me the name, it was a friend of mine that he worked for the government in California. So I called him and said, like, brother, thank you so much for what you did. I know you want to help me, but this is not the way. I get into this, okay? It's my responsibility to pay for this, okay? I will see how, I will see the way, but thank you. I need you to take your money back. And he said, no, I don't want anything back. I said, like, why? You crazy? Nobody gave all this money like for free. I said, well, guess what? Last night I have a dream with God, and he told me to make a deposit on your publisher and pay off your book completely.
Wow.
And I had the
Don't
money
you
for
love it?
something. I didn't know for what, but
Yeah.
he told me, and I don't need the money at all.
That's the way they work. I'll
Carlos,
tell you.
Carlos, you're a blessing, and we're blessed that we had you on.
Oh my gosh.
Would you come back again?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I
Oh
have
my
so many
gosh.
stories.
There's so many stories,
Oh,
you know,
yes.
and it's a mission of faith, and it's
Yes.
messages and miracles that awaken people's hearts when they hear it.
Well, the
You know,
same
it's
thing that you guys are doing. You're awakening people, and that's what we need right now. To people
Right.
to awake to the
Well,
new
what
things
is
that is
that?
happening.
What's the message that was told? The message said that when we're here on earth, if we, and I'm going to cry again, if we touch one, oh God, if we touch one soul and the other, it's magnificent.
right.
Yes,
It
yes.
affects one soul.
Right.
It's just not one soul. It's the ripple that person
ripple.
is like a candle.
Yeah, but if we touch
Another
the
candle
one,
is gonna on, another candle is gonna on, and then you're gonna turn on a lot of candles around you.
Exactly.
And that's what people need to awake today to this. What is going on? Humanity is changing, and we cannot hide it. With one finger like the sun, because the light is coming from every angle right now.
yes.
And truths are coming everywhere right now. Everything is being revealed in our eyes.
Well, we
Right.
always talk because when I had my store, I used to have a group, and this was over 20 years ago. And my group, because stuff would come through me, I don't know what say stuff, and I said the masks are going to come off, and people are going to be seen for who they really are.
Right.
Yes.
So when I said that, I thought, it's going to be a year, 2 years from now, and I'm going,
No, it's happening.
20 years.
It's happening right now.
It's happening.
And I don't know if you know right now, they found out, a lot of scientific people, that love is the most powerful frequency, but right now, authenticity is going over love right now. So people can
Yes.
feel
Authenticity.
how authentic you are when because you're
Yes.
talking from your heart.
Yes.
When you're talking from your heart, you're talking from your soul.
Right.
And people can feel you're touching people
Right.
with your soul when
Well,
you're talking from your
I'm sure you're a people magnet, Joanne, as I am. You're my husband goes crazy because plus I talk, but we'll be anywhere, and people will just come and I say, I didn't say anything. They just come and I start talking. What do you do?
It happened to me too, a lot.
It's that frequency. It's that vibration you're putting out to the world. It's a light.
Yes.
And people,
All
just
of
like
you
the moth
too.
to the flame,
Yeah.
they want to be in your space. So just, God bless you. Just keep doing what you're, oh my God.
No more accidents for Carlos.
No.
He
For
already,
any of us.
for any of us, yes. Because
Oh
we had ours.
They're one after another. And I keep saying, hey, wait, we gave God our
Well,
promise.
I
Why do you
guess all
keep
this
doing
happened to us for us to realize that we have a purpose, to awake souls.
Yes.
And that's what we're doing right now,
Well, we volunteered for this, so.
Oh, 100%.
We volunteered.
Oh,
So I
yes.
want to remind everyone that there is some really great websites you want to check out. One is www.carlosvivas.org. And then the other one is www.helpfromheaven.org. Check those. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
And
Carlos, this has been I'm just
I'm getting the
I know. I feel like we're all just
If you want to follow me on Facebook, I have
wanna
a group.
cry.
It's really, really amazing. It's about near-death experience. It's called Beyond Near-Death Experiences.
beyond.
So I
your
talk
depth.
from near-death experience from all over the world. So
Ooh.
people post their stories there from all over the world. And I have right now 100,011 people in that page.
Oh, wow. Could you repeat that word again? It's beyond.
Beyond Near-Death Experiences.
And that's on Facebook?
And what you're going to see on the background is the sunset of heaven. It's an orange
Ooh.
heaven.
Okay.
And it's a beyond. It's not just near death. It's beyond, like communication with your past people. I mean, you want to see all kind of stories, like nurses that work on hospice, when they see the souls departing, or when people. I have a lot of videos of people, they have surgery, and when they wake up, I say, oh my God, I was floating over my body, and I went to my house, and I saw this, and I saw that. Or people that is dying, I have a lot of videos that they're dying, and they're filming, and they start seeing all their family that came for them to take it out of their body,
Yeah, they reach for them, actually, like in the hospices.
Yeah. Well, just watch my page.
Sure.
I have a lot of videos there.
So that's on Facebook.
Yeah, if you go on ours, Carlos, also Beacons of Balance, we have archived videos, and we have
cool.
a whole month of people with NDEs. So
wow, nice.
Yeah, so
okay.
it's and so anyways, thank you for
Thank you.
Thank you guys for having me,
and I would like to
wish you all the best.
I would like to thank everyone out there that's watching and listening, and get out of here. For people that are listening, I'm pointing to my head and go into your hearts, please.
100% here.
100% go down here. And also go down below and subscribe. We're going to have all of Carlos's information below this video. Now, if you're listening, you have to go on to Beacons of Balance, look up watch videos. You have to actually click on that, and then that's where you could subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. We're trying to grow this. We want to get it out to more people. And Carlos, just the first Wednesday in the month, I do prayer meditation for the world. Everyone.
That's good. Oh, wow. That's amazing. I just want to tell you the place in here in Georgia that they do that every single day. I've been doing it for 30 years in our Loving Mother Children's place. They pray every day for world peace at 3 p.m. in that place.
That's wonderful.
Wow, that's beautiful.
That's wonderful. So
This is
everybody
amazing.
come back every Wednesday, 11 o'clock. We're here with new episodes. And,
Okay.
Leave comments.
Yes.
It's really important. Leave
Yes.
comments and
leave
share.
comments, like it's, we're
Share.
doing this from love to everybody.
Yes.
Remember to
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank
be the
you.
beautiful beacons of light that you are, and shine it out there. We need it.
Everybody need to shine right now. Okay.
Yes. Carlos,
Everybody need to open their hearts and
Yes,
give their
love-
gift to everybody else.
love you.
Yes. Thank you,
Yes.
Carlos.
Bye.
Love to everybody, and God bless you, everybody. Okay. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.